So let's step back just a moment and we'll talk about glasses, because most of the time when people think about glass, they think of windows. They sometimes think of their glasses that they wear on their face for seeing. But we're talking about different kinds of glasses. We're talking about glasses that exclude oxygen, and that's what makes them special for the infrared. Infrared allows you to see heat. What's special about infrared glass is that it's made without oxygen. So we go to great lengths, as you'll see in our laboratory, to keep oxygen out of these glasses. That allows us to melt glass, to use glasses to make films, or to even draw them into fibers that can be used to transport infrared light from point A to point B. Where the self-healing comes in is because the ingredients that go into making these glasses, if you remember from your high school chemistry, the far right side of the periodic table, other than oxygen, all those other heavy materials, when they bond together, they make very infrared transparent materials, but with very large atoms and weak bonds. And where this concept of self-healing comes from is, as in our paper, we talked about how radiation can get into these structures, take these atoms that are bonded together with bonds, and the radiation can bend or break these bonds. Because they're big atoms and weak bonds, over time, these bonds can come back and reform and therefore heal. So the concept of self-healing glass is glass that, as in our experiments, when exposed to high energy radiation, like gamma rays or X-rays, these bonds are distorted or broken, but over time, room temperature is enough to heal these bonds so that the structures can reform themselves. These are called glove boxes. And what's special about these glove boxes, as I mentioned, we want to keep oxygen and moisture, humidity, out of these glasses because they're impurities and they reduce the transparency of these materials. So everything we do in handling the starting materials and the glass, we do in a glove box. So this box has had all the oxygen taken out, all the air is taken out, and we replace it with nitrogen. Well, what's really interesting is there are probably between 5 and 10 of us in the U.S. that work on these glasses for a variety of applications. They're very specialized. As you can see here, they require very specialized facility to design, to make them, to handle them, because many of the ingredients inside these glasses to make them transparent in the infrared are somewhat toxic. Now, I mentioned keeping oxygen, and in Florida, it's tough to keep moisture out, but we need to keep those impurities out to make sure that we can transmit in these materials. I just want to highlight this. Not only I've been very enthusiastic about the multidisciplinary collaboration that our team brought to this program to demonstrate this result, but I think what's also important is that we are educational institutions, and our job is to educate and train not only students to get degrees, but the future workforce of our community. And we're especially proud of the fact that most of the people who work for companies in the U.S. and abroad, actually, that make these types of glasses, many of them have been educated and trained in our group, including a lead collaborator at Lockheed Martin here in town who supports ongoing research in these materials, but also small businesses like LightPath Technologies just here in the research park, and they have 2 of our alumni in their program. So what's important is that not only are we training students with fantastic skills that are very desirable by our community, but we're propagating that workforce throughout our community. And that's especially important to us.